Well, the time has come, official, that Henry Cavill is stepping down as Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher. And I tell you, I'm quite a fan of The Witcher games myself. I picked 2 up, liked it. Picked 3 up, loved it. I mean, how could you not love The Witcher 3? It's a stellar game in a wonderful, wonderful setting. And when they made a Netflix show, everybody was skeptical, but it actually turned out to be fairly enjoyable and kind of like the show that we had always wanted for The Witcher. And who else could have garnered those reins as Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher? Well, it's none other than Senior Henry Cavill, the man, the myth, the legend. Yes, Henry Cavill was good as The Witcher, and him stepping down is a rather unfortunate thing. However, the reasons, creative differences, anger on set, or just generally him being taken off the project, it's clear that we're in an era of averagely okay movies and TV series, and sometimes breakout hits. And The Witcher was one of those. It was kind of a phenomenon. Everyone likes it, and everyone's still into it. And there's no doubt that Witcher has garnered a ton of praise from its just interesting kind of fantasy, dark fantasy, semi-realistic story-esque, and there's lots of crazy fantasy nowadays. And Henry Cavill has been quite a great actor. I mean, he looks the part of just a regular strongman, and he fills it out well. And I guess that's what made him such a good Geralt of Rivia, is that he's just an average, everyday uh, strongman. And what a magnificent average strongman Henry Cavill is. He's something that we're all rooting for, from him building gaming PCs to heralding these projects. He's someone to take over and really bring gaming to the mainstream as far as cinema and TV goes. And he's he's quite the character. Must like Henry Cavill, must give him kudos as he's a pop culture icon nowadays. Uh, and into gaming culture and whatever you want to call that kind of nerdy lifestyle. And he played a fabulous Geralt. We can't help but deny the fact that he was kind of awesome to see him as the Geralt of Rivia. And we wanted to see more of this world, and well, it's only doesn't take long to binge Netflix thing that you liked, and then sooner or later it was over. And now it's over for good. And you see, there's so many great stories to tell in fantasy. I don't think they have to overthink it. They could just make a straight, interesting series just about day-to-day life in a castle and in this world. I don't, and I think they want to follow all these stories and things, but in The Witcher 3 the game, it was just the basic stuff, the mundane day-to-day lives that was so interesting to see, and you wanted to explore and learn about this fantasy world and some of the struggles that these people had and might have, and to bring that into the realistic realms of TV series and movies. That's pretty fabulous, and we honestly can't get enough good fantasy TVs and video games. Top of the line was The Witcher 3. If you liked fantasy and you like story-driven action games with some inventory and choices to be had and where you go, you couldn't go wrong with The Witcher. I mean, it's a perfect fantasy game. It has everything that you need in it. A good, riveting story, all the kinds of swords and sorcery, castles, dragons, magics. But it was the darkness of the world that made you really invested in it and wanting to learn more about the characters and not just have to deal with this like thing and have all this grandiose story. And even though it had it, like most fantasy does, but there's so many interesting characters to explore in the Witcher world. I think that we've only scratched the surface, and let's not turn this all into some big fucking drama teen drama, relationships, and all that fucking bullshit. Nobody wants to see that. Let's just see these people's lives and how they would actually live in this kind of dark medieval fantasy world. It's really interesting stuff, and I feel like they overthink things too much nowadays, and they have to make all these stories and plots, and there's too many writers involved in all this shit. It should just be really simple, and we should get to learn these characters and the epic battles that they have. And video games are reaching a point nowadays that they're actually like starting to tell stories better in many ways, or is equal to how TV and film can make these stories evolve and these worlds explorable. And the Witcher worlds, I think we're gonna get lots more of it, because obviously they're gonna keep fucking whoring out the license to everybody they can. But The Witcher 3 is gonna stand as a great point in video gaming and story-driven fantasy. It's just too epic. It's a great story, and if they could take everything that was in The Witcher 3 and expand it to TV, film, video, more games, it'd be beautiful. Because it's a blueprint on how to make a great story-driven fantasy world. Now, stupidly, they replaced Geralt, and they actually got a new guy who just comes in out of left field and is the new Geralt. Now, how stupid is that? Why not make just like another Witcher and tell different stories of different Witchers or different characters in this world? There's so many great characters in The Witcher, and there's so many angles to tell them at. And even tell the story of a brand new Witcher, a Witcher we've never heard about or seen before, and his stories and struggles as a Witcher. Geralt's story is being unraveled, but we need more. We need different Witchers. We know that there's many more Witchers. We know there were many more Witchers. We know that this is a lore-rich, story-driven world, and we know that there's some pretty mundane and interesting things that we could learn about it, and some creatures and monsters and characters that we've never even seen before. What's stopping us? Well, it's probably the fucking books and the shit like that, and the licensing and all that fucking bullshit that gets in the way of creativity. You see what I'm fucking saying? Is that they need to be more creative, and I could be more fucking creative with this shit than these idiots. And I wish I could just make my own Witcher show, and I could direct it, and I could fucking make something so amazing. I know I could do it, because I'm a super creative person. Well, Witcher is an amazing series. Check it out.